there. Hello. Oh, okay. Hi. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, and it's been a long day. It's been a long day. But it's fine. I'm here. I made it. So, yay. Hi. Hope everyone is having a good night. Sorry, we're a little bit late tonight. I know Desi from Definitely Novel Life will not be joining tonight. Hello. But we're gonna just keep going. We're gonna do the first 1 to 7 chapters on The Right Sign, the book. This book is the Definitely Readers Book Club pick for the month of February. It has both deaf representation, and then also it is Black representation for Black History Month. The author herself, she is Black. She is not deaf. She is a hearing author. She has 2 romance books that have deaf representation. And actually, if you've read the first 7 chapters, you will have met the main character, who is Ya. Her sister, Desiree, spelling is wrong. Short is Dej. Her sister met and married a hearing man who has a deaf daughter. And that's technically the first book. But they're all standalones, so you don't have to read all of them to understand everything. Hello, welcome. It's Definitely Readers chapter discussions tonight. Desi will not be joining tonight. I will be simcomming since there are hearing followers, and I will be trying to make sure that I pay attention to the comments. So anyway, this month's discussion is on the right sign. Now, if you joined the club in the beginning, and if you didn't, that's fine. You can join now. All the links are in our bio. You can find us on Discord server. We're more active there. We also are on Fable. I can't spell tonight. My brain is just tired. Fable, but we're not really active there. I try. Right now, I did not make it this week there. Anyway, if you joined in the very beginning, what really forced us to make this ASL Book Club is this book itself. Desi and I were reading The Whispering Dark, and we were just discussing that we just put it aside and we started reading. We were just sitting on a live one night, just discussing that we really enjoyed this book and like how the representation, and we explained a little bit about what representation we really liked. And then we were talking about deaf culture, and it seemed like there was a passion to have an online ASL book club that focused on deaf, hard of hearing characters or deaf and hard of hearing authors. So that's what really started Definitely Readers. But we never read it with the group. And last week, I mentioned, sure. Do you want to join? That is fine. I can invite you if you would like to join and discuss with me tonight since Desi is not here. I'm fine with that. Okay, 1 minute. Um, so we're gonna have a guest. We're gonna have a guest tonight. My brain is. Um, I mentioned last week. Hi, how are you? You're trying. Do you want me to voice interpret for you, or do you want to speak in simcom? I think you think it's better for you to sign because you need to practice. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to voice them for. Yes, simcom is very, very hard. If you've not done it before, you're trying to do two languages at the same time, and it's really hard to remember what you want to sign. So, a comment about that. When I'm hanging around like my deaf friends and like the big group in which we're all signing, I'm a lot more fluent. And it's because I'm not having to voice and I'm just signing. Because how hard, you forgot how hard it is to try to do both. Yes, yes, it is very hard. 1 minute. Now, do you have a sign name? Kind of, maybe, maybe. So your legal name. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's K and then like beautiful. Okay. 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 Do you have right now? Okay, so you do have one. All right. Wow. And if you remember, mine is this, and it was for typewriter and inspires since writing books. Oh, you love that, yeah, yeah. So and you'll have noticed that Desi does a different sign name, and that was the one I was giving a long time ago, and I'm slowly changing it to the more deaf friendly sign name that I'm using like all the time because this is very, very, very English. So this is not. But anyway, you can move that up there. Get it in the middle because it annoys me. If it's not in the middle when I'm with like two people, it annoys me. Anyway, um, I mentioned last week that I was like, I'm curious if my thoughts and my feelings will change since I have started reading more books with deaf and hard of hearing characters and we've been analyzing. So I was like, I read it last year, but has my feelings changed a little bit? Because now I've noticed what I prefer to read with a deaf character. For example, I did not remember that the signing in the book is not differentiated. It's not italicized. It's only in quotes, right? Which is a little bit, it is a little bit weird. But there's not a standard, there's not a standard for showing sign in books. So you'll see some people do just plain quotes. Some people don't do quotes and it's just normal, I guess. I don't know. No quotes, nothing. It's just plain. And then you'll see italics. some with quotes, some without. There's one book that has a different font, and I was like, okay. So it's interesting because I think when I learned to sign, you gloss. Okay, yeah, gloss. Yeah. And it's not used. Oh, okay. So, and I can explain that a little. So we're going to deviate from the book itself for just a minute. No, it's fine. If you saw my post recently today, I posted about tips for writing deaf characters. I did not include that part because it's a little bit different. So gloss, when you're learning sign and you're reading sign, you have what is called gloss. So it would be like capital letters, like, go today or go now, for I will go today. And like, so the how you're writing it when you're thinking about signing, yes. However, the reason behind most people now, so Niall DeMarco uses in his book, Deaf Utopia, Niall uses gloss, but he is raised generationally deaf, and he was raised first with signing, which is fine. Like, and so he is very deaf in that, like, it's not English, not just in the culture. He is not speak English because he does not voice. He signs. So when he's writing, he wanted to stay like true to himself and not change it for hearing readers. Most people, when they're writing deaf characters or showing sign in the books, they're not doing the deaf natural sign language gloss. They're writing for hearing English speaking readers. And I struggled with that because I really wanted to show, and so in my story that I'm editing right now, I have two characters in which I do gloss with because they're generationally deaf. And so I wanted to show the difference in a person who is normally simcomming, or is generationally deaf, or is more like, and so I have some gloss in my story, but it's really hard for speakers, like English speakers, hearing readers to understand when they read that because they don't think, because it would be like store future, not I will go to the store, right? Because the word is future, not will. So, hello. Hi, Edward. So I'm hearing, so she is hearing, and she is practicing sign. Is that an answer to a comment? No. I don't want someone to think that I am trying to create a deaf, you're hearing. No. She is part of the Definitely Readers Book Club, and since Desi was not able to join tonight, she offered to join the discussion about the book. I am hard of hearing. I am culturally deaf, which means that I am involved in the deaf community, but medically you would term me hard of hearing. I have hearing loss, I have hearing aids, but I sign. So it's interesting to request interpreters because I find it helps me to understand when you go, okay, yeah. But I think it's more, Processing? Like you're processing? Okay. So we were, no. Yeah, so the book. So we were discussing why in the book, like this time, I recognized and I saw that there was no differentiating between the sign. Like when, so the main characters are Yaya, and that is her, like, her model name. That's not her personal name, and they never say her real name. Yeah, they never said that. No. And then and she is deaf. And then the male character is, his name is Richard, but they call him Dare. I don't know. I don't know. He is hearing, and he is white. Um, and so I am reading it again, and I noticed, oh, they don't show signing. Interesting. They say signing. And so you assume when Yaya is signing, or is when speaking, she is actually signing. Um, and there's some good quotes. How did you feel about the, like, insta love? Like, he instantly fell in love. It was forced. Yeah, he was forced. Yeah, yeah. It was a little bit scary. Okay, interesting. Um, yes. Yeah, it was a little bit of a. I don't know the English word for. It's just you know that, like that sound that, like, it's like not really ew, but you're a little bit like disgusted, but so it is creative. Yeah, yeah. I Okay, so we can back up. So they meet, and he notices her at a wedding, and there apparently is thousands of billionaires in this city. Yeah. Oh, there's a comment. It's so tropey, tropey. Yeah. Well, it's the billionaire love story, and I'm like, how many, like, billionaire people is lives in this city? Um, and there's a comment, and I'm just gonna get a little bit political for just a minute. There's a comment about, like, it's kind of hard to read that right now about the rich with everything that is going on. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. But it's true. The rich don't have the same, yes, consequences. Consequences. So it's like ending, but it's with the C. So that's right. So to back up, they meet. So Dare notices Yaya at the wedding, but he sees that she's with another man, her friend Henry. So that name is personal to me, and, like, I don't like that. I don't like that character. Anyway, so she sees him, and her friend decides to destroy the car that he notices because his ex, has a new boyfriend who's just rude, and, like, Henry wants to just so he destroys a really nice car, an expensive, fancy car. Yes. Five. Oh, okay. There's only five in the world. Wow, I didn't remember that part. And then so Dare catches them. Henry escapes, like, because he doesn't have any money, and Yaya knows that her sister is not going to let her really like face that consequence. Like, she tries to like stand up for herself and like, but anyway, he didn't realize that she was deaf, and he's like, why is she not speaking to me? And anyway, so he leaves, like, so Dare, he leaves because his sister has a car wreck, and they pay off the police to make sure that nothing happens to his sister. I was so angry about that part, and I was just like, I can't read this part right now. And I just had to like skip and move on. Oh no, I didn't mean to invite. How do I cancel an invite? Sorry. I'm trying to read the comments, and I don't know how to do that. Okay. It's not there. Oh, did I say spoilers? Oh, you said spoilers. Okay. 5 in the world, yeah. Well, I forgot that it's at the end of the book, right? It's fine. So, I don't think that you were here for that part, but 2 books ago, Desi did. It is like the deaf way to not spoil a book. Anyway. Yes, so Hope said the rich live in a different universe. Absolutely. It's so true. That is true. Yes. So anyway, like, they pay off the cops, they pay off like all of these people. He takes his sister to rehab because she's a drunk, and her daughter is alone at the home, and she's 7, and his sister is Lucy. She may be mad to say that he does not have the responsibility. He's not responsible enough to watch her daughter when she left her alone with no phone. Right, yeah, that. Yes, yes, yes. And Talia. She's a brat. Yep. Yep, she is a brat. She is mischievous. She is rude. She is entitled. Like, and she's growing up to become her mother, is what's happening. And they never made Lucy really have a consequence. I mean, going to rehab is not really enough, right? She never had to pay for things. Oh, what'd you say? Oh, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. She reminds you of the mom in Quiet Beautiful Things? Talia or Lucy? Hope, your comment. She reminds you of the mom. The mom that Blake had one night with, that person. Lucy. Okay. Yeah, so it was like a 5-star hotel, not rehab. It was the rich rehab. Yeah, abusive and neglectful. Yeah, abusive and neglectful. So he says, "Oh, I have a girlfriend," and you knew right there he's manipulative because, yes, because, okay, I can see, like, so this is the fake dating like trope in a book. You don't want to like him. So it is the fake dating, right? And so you know, but normally you don't fake date by manipulating a person and saying that you're going to ruin her friend if you don't do this. And she said she would pay for the car. And he's like, no, I want you to fake date me so that I can take care of my niece, which is a good thing to do, right? That's good to do. But it's manipulative. Yes, it's manipulative. My brain's moving faster than my voice. so so fake dating, but manipulative and attracted to her from the very beginning. Yeah. Okay, but as soon as he knew that she was deaf, what'd you say? I missed it. He's not realistic. Yeah, he's not real life. He's not realistic. But I do like that as soon as he knew she was deaf, he started to try to figure out what he needed to do. Now, was he realistic about what he needed to do and how to learn? No. You don't hire the CEO of an interpreting service to be your teacher. No. Like, no. He's being selfish, yeah. College courses or community college classes, yeah. That's what you take. But wait. He's rich. He can do what he wants, right? It's terrible. He's so cocky. He's so and I need Desi for that sign because I don't know it. But I think it's cocky. No, that's brag. That's brag. That's brag. It's the same thing. Okay. Kind of. I mean, similar things. You're just like throwing money at it to get what you want. That was awful. That was not. So anyway, so he hires 5 interpreters, and Desi made a comment on Discord. Hang on. Okay, hold that thought. Desi just commented and said, "It's funny that the first time that we were like, aw, sweet," and now he's just like a little bit cocky." Yeah, so it's different. So the stars that you give when you first read it can be different the next time you read. I think it's interesting, yeah. Um, so he does hire 5 interpreters for their meeting, right? And Desi's comment on Discord is, wow, that's great. I'm so happy for her to have interpreters, but other people need interpreters too at the same time. Like, why'd you hire 5? I could see 2 interpreters, right? One for Yaya, one for him to make sure they're not missing anything. But 5? Why? What's that needed for? It's too much, yeah. Here's oh yeah. Reading it again, I like before, like we said, we were like, yes, deaf representation, and this is such a good one because it's showing that she's signing, it's showing that she's advocating for her access, and it's showing all of these things. She's saying that, why do I need to voice? I'm signing. Oh wait, that was a good quote. That was a good quote. One minute. Desi, imagine I'm calling in to try to get an interpreter, and they're all gone. They're all busy. Um, So I did like the quote that I really liked from that interpreter time, like on the mountains, is that, you know, she says, everywhere I go, I'm always the one who has to accommodate people. I lip read, I use hearing aids, I do everything I can to make sure hearing people around me don't feel like I'm any less capable than they are. But now my driver can sign, all this stuff. Like, I did like seeing him try. Do I think that, okay, I know the answer, but he is rich. He's living in a dream world that his sister is going to believe him when he can't sign that that is his girlfriend. Yes. Yeah. And Hope, yes. He was doing that to say, hey, look at me. I'm trying and I have money. I'm trying too much. Yeah. You're trying too hard. What's wrong with you? What are you hiding? Anyway, um, and so today when I got on, I was a little bit late. It's been a extremely busy week at my work. What'd you say? Ditzy? Deaf time stand. Yeah, deaf standard time. Yeah. No, it's more of I was trying to mentally prepare for tonight because my work has been so exhausting because I've been on I think I had 8 or 9 meetings today, and there's no interpreters. It's captions and it's lip reading. And so I'm literally like, and I was testing something, and no hate to anyone. Most of the people live, I was working, my company is international. So I was working with people in India and Ireland. So they have strong accents, which means they push out their words differently because English for India is a second language. And captions don't capture everything. And so I'm having to try to process with my hearing aids, read the captions, answer in a timely manner because I've gotten in trouble before for being late responding. And I'm like, you realize I'm deaf, right? Like, I'm reading your captions. And today would have been a nice day to have an interpreter, and I've requested, but they don't remember to get them until the day of, and then there's none there. So this week has been really, I had 11 meetings yesterday, Zoom meetings. So this week has been really exhausting, trying to lip read, to accommodate, and like so that he got interpreters and hired interpreters. Like Desi made a comment of how exhausting it is, and it is. And like as soon as I was done with work today, I just took out my hearing aids, and I was like, okay, silence. And hearing people don't realize that many of the deaf people have to change and accommodate, for everything that they do. So it's nice to see that he's trying. And I like, so in Quiet Beautiful Things by Samantha Christie, you see a lot of the start of their relationship is text messages because he is learning sign, right? And it's the same thing for this. He's texting, um, and you do see, like, so they go to meet Lucy, and you see that she is trying to, like, mentally prepare herself that she needs to voice, because she's expecting that he's gonna ask her to voice. And he says, no, just be yourself. Like, she won't care. I want you for you. And I was like, oh, sweet. Why did you ask if I can voice if you want me for me? Right. What book? So we are discussing The Right Sign. You can't really see it because I made it a little bit small on accident. Let's see if I can. There, The Right Sign. Thank you. And I do want to get a physical book. This is by Nia Arthurs, and it is the Definitely Readers. Hi, Sadie, my dog. She normally sits with me to read. Okay, anyway, I'm distracted. Okay, so what? Okay, what did you say? Heart. Art. ARCAD. Arcade. Arcade. Okay. For, oh, his niece. Oh, yeah. Right. Her behavior is bad. Okay, so 1 minute comment. So Cam, yes, I do recommend this book for deaf representation. I do think it's a good read. It has good deaf culture too. The only thing is Yaya is not specifically, she was raised in a hearing family. So, but she does sign. She does sign. She has deaf friends. we'll talk about the deaf friends later because that's at a later part. Yes, that. Later. I think that may be like next week. We find some things out. I feel like if you want to read a romance book, maybe not this one for awesome representation, but this book is not different from other romance tropes. Yeah, so it has the same like tropes. You have fake dating, you have billionaire boyfriend, yeah, that kind of love thing. You have the insta love. So you have all those tropes. This is I think this might be the best one for specifically having like BIPOC characters. That is romance too. If you want a character who is raised really strong deaf, and that's a romance book, I think Quiet Beautiful Things does better with that. if you want, we have a lot. So we have a lot that we recommend. The book list is in my bio. Um, and if I've read them, it's bolded. You can join the Definitely Readers. We're always adding to the list, and if we find that it is not good representation, we will delete it off our list. So, yes. And no, you don't have to be deaf to understand this book. No. It does very well with that. So yes, so he basically rents an arcade for his niece. Her name is Talia, right? Talia? I don't know how you say it. It could be a Talia. I think it is the second. Oh, nope. Not what I wanted to do. So my comments don't. Oh, Natalia. So Talia. So it's Natalie. So it's Italian for. Okay. So he rents out the arcade and just ignores that the teacher is trying to tell him, hey, something happened. She's in trouble. She has problems. Yes. And then he just goes and plays with her and just like, she's not really bad, right? She's okay. Yeah. And we're like, no. Yeah. he And I think he applied that to his sister too. He didn't want to believe that something was not wrong, but that his sister could do no wrong. I missed. I was talking. Spoiled. Spoiled is this, but that's not the kind of spoiled. This is like ruined. I don't know. We can look it up for next week. Desi was here. She would know. So Desi said she mentioned on Discord that she feels bad for Natalia. She's acting out because she needs attention. So she's acting out because she needs attention. Well, not just like a role model, but also she needs the structure. She needs the schedule. She needs a parent. You do see, like, this is not spoiling the book, but you do see improvements later with her, which is good because I really think she's becoming her mom. Therapy, yeah, she does need therapy. You're right. She needs boundaries, she needs therapy, she needs all of these things. And yeah, needs stability. Yeah, she needs it to be a like stable, not like a stable life, like where she goes to school, she goes home, does her homework, she has, yeah, rules and regulations, all of this stuff. Like, she needs to be parented. Um, Anyways, and then he takes a work call. Like, he takes a work call, and then she is just, so he was playing, nothing seemed like bad, nothing happened, and then as soon as he left the room, she became mischievous and like rude, and they had to pay off, and mean, yeah, and manipulative, and he's like, I didn't realize that I was gonna have to pay off for my niece already. It's just, maybe. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I have hot chocolate, but now it's cold. Let's see what Desi said. She's 7. 7. She's 7. She's the same age as her daughter. Wow. I don't know. So okay. So we have Natalia, and there was something I was gonna say about her. She's not a bad person. She just doesn't understand. Like, she's 7. She's doing what she has seen all of her life. So she is just copying what her mom has been doing. Yeah. And her uncle has done. Eden. So he did pay off like the cops and like all of this to not report on his sister. And then he finds out that the story leaked, but there's not really a consequence. What does he do? And I think this is the next chapter, so I don't think that we've read it yet. But he decides to set up short, yeah. He decides to set up the story that he's dating. Does he tell Yaya? No. 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 This is the end of chapter 7. Yes, that. What can we do to cover up that my sister did something? Let her live and see what happens. Have a consequence. Okay, what did you think of Lucy when she met Yaya? Like, how did you feel about the sister? We knew she was manipulative with her brother, but did you like her? Like, personally? No. Yeah. She's like, well, who do I talk to? Me. Yeah. Yeah. So she is very fancy. Like, she's fancy. She's not very. I don't think she's very polite. Narcissistic? No. Snarky. I use sarcastic for snarky. Maybe that's what I tend to use. Like, you're very snarky. You're very sarcastic. Yeah. Yeah. I did not like her. Same as her mom, yeah. And her daughter. They were the same way. Yes. Come on. My thing is not let okay. Okay. So I did like, and I think Desi said the same quote. These hands are for signing, not like slapping, but I might give them a new purpose today. Edith. She's like, these hands are made for signing, but honestly, today, yes, that part. I thought that was okay. So there's another one that says people with power have an uncanny ability to make others feel small. That quote, I was like, oof, oof. It's true. It's true. Yeah. They want to do it. They're saying, yes, queen, yes. Yes, do that. Anyway. I do think that Lucy is watching out for her brother to make sure that she's not trying to, like, not steal, but she's not like a gold digger person who only is dating Dare for the money and that kind of thing. So I do think that because they were raised rich, like there's some things that like Yaya wouldn't be able to relate to. She's not poor, but she's not rich. She's like middle class. That's what I didn't want to like. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to like him, but I do like him. Okay. So I do think he's sweet. I do think that he is unrealistic. Um, I do like that the he's egotistical. Yeah. I don't either. I do think that was funny. What was funny? Okay, so Eden commented that she thought it was funny that the brother-in-law did the cafe, like the coffee shop thing for her sister. So in that book, they meet, and her sister Dej she works at a coffee shop, and it's just her dream to have one. She's an artist, if I remember correctly. And the I Sazuki saying it wrong. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right or wrong, but his daughter is deaf, and his family is like known for their music, and they're very very like not secretive, but they don't they're very private. Yeah, they're very private. Anyway, so obviously Deej signs, and she had in that story, like they meet because she notices the girl and she doesn't hear a car, and so she saves the girl, and then the dad is like, oh, you just want money and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, no, I don't need your money. And that's kind of why it's called prickly romance, is because it's like a grumpy sunshine kind of book. So anyway, she was working there. And then when they end up getting married, and you know they're married because in this book, you see them, they're married. So you know that. I'm not spoiling it. Um, she does not work there now. She works with his like foundation, his music thing. She works there and does like charities and that kind of thing. She doesn't work in the shop now, but she does like it. And so sometimes, and he bought the coffee shop for her, but she doesn't get to run it. So sometimes he decides to let her do it and just pays for everything that day. And it's just sweet. It's just a sweet thing. Like he knew that she needed something to do that was not just like working with like him that day. She needed to focus on like easy, like not having to really process what she's doing while she's trying to figure out what's like going on with her sister. So it was really sweet. It was a sweet moment. I will say I do think that I preferred that first book, the prickly romance. I felt it was more believable with the romance. It wasn't the insta love kind of thing. Um, there was a reason why she knew sign, and I really do like that grumpy, like sunshine kind of romance too. So I read The Right Sign first. And then I wanted to know Deja's stories, so I read that one. They're both on Kindle Unlimited. So they're both on Kindle Unlimited. And so I did think it was a good, and since it has deaf representation, both of them are really good. Like the author, I do think she had a deaf sensitivity reader. It doesn't say that she did, but it's clear that she did a lot of research. She made sure. The only thing that I really didn't like, but some of the older generations and some people do actually use hearing impaired, but as an interpreter, you should never use that. If the person says it, that's fine, but hearing impaired implies it's the English medical terminology. And so most deaf people they don't like hearing impaired. They prefer hard of hearing or deaf. There are some people who still use it, and if they use it, that is fine to say that word with them. But, and I had a disagreement with my sister. Is it change? Interpreters change. Yeah, they should not use that word. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. When the interpreter used that word, you just like immediately like, no, the professionalism's not there. Like, yeah. Yeah. You have not seen that, yeah. So, Desi said that she loves how blunt that Yaya is. Yes. And she's like, oh, okay. So my comment on Discord, and I'm not sure if people read it, but I don't think that I realized how much the other interpreter, the like younger one, is she new? Why is she embarrassed about interpreting? She's literally just saying the words. She does not saying like she's like ashamed, and she was like red, and like she was like I don't want to say that, and you're an interpreter. Do your job. It says my live is going to refresh in 10 minutes. I don't see that. I just had to do like the puzzle. I don't know. You have to drag it to stay live. I don't know. Okay. Well, if it goes down, we will pull it back up. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. I was like, you're an interpreter. Why are you embarrassed about what you're saying? You can get embarrassed after when your client doesn't see you. That. Hey, so Desi, did you have an interpreter who did that before? Oh, you're right. You're right. She didn't interpret everything. Mm-hmm. Rude. Rude. There's also, I think it's Rude is the other one, or Rude. I think it's this one. Rude. No, that's Naked. I use Rude. I think it's Rude. Is the other way to sign it, but I typically use Rude. Is that sign is what in the area? Maybe. Lucky. I do lucky. Lucky. That's cute. Some in different regions. Yeah, there's different regional signs. So like that there is like donut, don't like there's all these different ones, donut down here. So you have Desi is going to comment, and I know she will. But an example is I learned pineapple and pickle. And a friend of ours did it the same way. Pickle, pineapple is what is used here. And so I still do it the way that I learned because pickles are boring. And also they're really close to the other thing. That's why I learned it. That's how I learned it. But pineapple, because apple, pineapple, and that's how I learned it. And then, but pineapple, so Desi is going to comment about that. Eden, is good to see you. It's nice. Have a good night. I will be soon going to. We're almost done, I think, discussing the book. Next week is chapters 8 to 13, I think. 13 or 14. I can't remember. That's depend. I can't remember. You feel better when I mess up? Yeah. So sometimes, especially if I'm like finger spelling, I'll like slap my hand because I'm like, you're wrong. Yeah. Some days are better than others. Okay. So there's one more thing that I wanted to, one more quote. It says, sometimes people put things off because they want to believe the best of someone, even if it is not unwise. So like if it's not smart. Like you just ignore and put aside what is happening because you don't want to believe it. And that's not wise. Yeah. And then, oh, there's one more. It says, words are meant to be strong. That's how we decide if something is right or wrong, or somewhere in between. So both of those, like there's a lot of good quotes from here. I do like that the interpreter who was teaching Dare told him it's not that easy. You're not going to just instantly learn it. You're going to have to practice. And he's like, oh, I have an hour today. Oh, I've been learning ABCs, like phrases, kind of thing. Autocorrect room 8 to 13. Pickles and the other thing. I see the association. Yeah, dill. Pickers are flowing. They said to fill it with dill. But that is how I learned it and how I easily remembered it. And the same thing for our friend Catherine. We had a huge discussion about it because I was like, oh, I learned it that way too. And like we gave the reason behind it. And then here, where we are in Alabama, I guess we're wrong. Pineapple. Pickle. Yeah. So really fast, what do you think about Henry, her friend? Did you catch, since you've already read, did you catch what he was doing with the photography? That's a hint. Yes. So I didn't the first time, and like looking back, I realized, oh. Anyways, that's the really sad part later. Um, is it? I think it's next Wednesday. We're gonna discuss what happens with that. Um, but do you like Henry as a person? You want to like him, but I don't like him. It's kind of the opposite with the guys. So it's interesting because I heard her name Yaya. I'm just gonna do that. Yaya. Um, she is very. She has very strong feelings about dating hearing men, and she refuses to do that after an experience, right? Henry. So my son's name is Henry, and so I was starting the side name for because I'm tired. So Henry seems to like to prefer to date hearing women because he was dating that girl, and so like they never really tried to date each other. Um, and I you can be friends with guys. A girl can be friends at normally, not always, but most times at one point in the friendship, either the guy or the girl has thought about dating their friend at some point. Not always, because there are some. Most times, I feel, I'm not going to say always because there's one case, one time that it won't be. They will, yes, and how that person handles that rejection shows a lot. And then also how they interact with each other. You know that one person is interested in another person, right? So you can see that. And it's just interesting because I feel like he immediately accepted that Yaya was going to cover for him and not let him have a consequence and to save him. Yeah, she trusted because Yaya was upset that he wasn't listening to her. The boy Dare. Because Dare's behavior is the same with her. But she is mad at him for the having the same at the same time. Yeah. His behavior is as Henry, yeah. So I do feel like, and maybe it's the kind of world we live in. We expect that the girl, like the boy, is not going to leave the girl alone to handle something. Like, if he did it, you would expect him to take responsibility for it. He's supposed to protect and save the girl. I don't really like that mindset. I like that she told him to go and that she would save him. But I don't like that he just accepted it, that he didn't have to take that responsibility. Like, there's one thing to protect a person, but not to do when they will have a consequence. Like, I don't know. I may not be making a lot of sense tonight. I don't like how Dare didn't let his sister face the consequences. And I didn't like how Yaya didn't let Henry face the consequences. And I understand that, like, for the story, it was the point where she covered for him. Like, I understand that's the point of this story. But they're treating them the same way. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Henry is immature. Yeah, immature. Yeah. I feel like probably why Lexi dumped him. That's funny. Well, I feel like Lexi may have, like, dumped him because of his relationship with Yaya. Maybe. Because they're really close. They're best friends. And most times, you really can't have a guy and a girl, a best friend, without something being involved with that. Or one person thinking something is involved. Yeah. Hoping. Yeah, hoping. Expecting. Hoping. Yeah. Oh, anything that I missed? No? Okay, so we are discussing The Right Sign by Nia Arthurs. It is deaf representation. It is Black representation. It is a romance book for February. We just finished chapters 1 to 7. We will be discussing next week on Wednesday night chapters 8 to 13. 14, 8 to 14 next week on Wednesday night. We have a Discord server and on Fable. Both are free. You can join. Links in bio. This is not my bio, but you understand me. Right? And this is the Definitely Readers Book Club. She joined us tonight. Desi was not able to join, but she joined in the comments. She just, yeah, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, of course, to practice. We were supposed to do it at the end of last month, but the plan is the ASL chats on Discord to do the big, like, everyone can join in on a chat. So we're going to try to do it like at least once a month there. But if you want to do it, you can on the Discord server. You can join in anytime. And if people are available and they want to, like, practice with you, it's open. You can do that. I will be very honest. Right now, I've not had time. So, I am, yeah, you need to practice. So, yeah, if other people want to do it, they can. Yes, it is open to anyone to doing it there on the Discord server. And then we are going to have a big one like once a month at the end. And I think we're going to try to be voice off. So it's really just practicing. And we'll comment if you don't understand. We're going to keep everybody muted, including me, because I couldn't get it to record on Discord. So we're not going to move there for these discussions because these discussions are uploaded to YouTube. I did find my YouTube does allow now to do the lies like normal, not a weird thing that happened the last time. And so we will have a little spinny thing to get a winner for that cup, for the coffee cup that says happy reading. It's over there, and I'm tired and I don't want to show you, but I can't see all of the names of the people who joined. So since some people are private, I can't read the names. So only the public names on YouTube will be in that thing. Where? How to join on YouTube. It's on my YouTube. Oh, for the giveaway. So if you are on, and you can message me if you followed me on YouTube, you are technically supposed to be in that giveaway. But if you didn't have an open like YouTube channel like that subscribed, I can't see who subscribed that name. So I only can see about 20 people, like, and there's 50 people who follow. So I'm just gonna let you guys know that. But if you did follow, just, you can message me and I'll add your name to that part. But my plan is tomorrow I'm gonna spin that little wheel and let it pick a name and then send you the coffee cup. And it says happy reading, and it is over there, and I'm tired, so I'm not going to show you tonight. No, you didn't miss it. You can go and just subscribe on YouTube, and I'll add. Oh, you want to get it? You want to get the coffee cup? No? You won? Okay, okay. Oh, so I can send it to you? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. 13. Yeah, and Lucy thought he hired. Yeah. Okay, so any last minute questions, comments about the book, about the club, about my dog who is sleeping on my foot? Sadie, you want to come say bye? She said no. She gives like, oh, there's a cute puppy. Come here. You want to see the puppy? You want to see the puppy? Look. Okay. Well, here. This is my dog. Nope, you can't see. Come here. There we go. This is my doggy. Okay. Anyway. So I don't see anything. Oh, I do have a question for anyone who is left. So, since technically there is a ban still with TikTok, like, we have that delay of 90 days. I am trying to do some lives on YouTube, but what do people want? Because on TikTok, I did like writing lives in which I did like, I was writing, like typing, and then I would do like writing sprints and then have like 5-10 minutes just chatting about whatever, or reading what I like, the excerpt or whatever. What do people do on YouTube lives? Do you know? The same thing? Okay. Heather's dogs. Sweet. Say bark bark. And Desi says she will be joining next week. No, it's fine. It's fine. So anyways, if you have anything about like YouTube lives and what you should do, let me know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so we learn the same, or we'll learn together. Yeah, right. I have no idea. I don't know. I did try a live last week on Thursday night, and I was by myself, but I wrote a lot. There was no comments, so I didn't have to stop and comment, but it's fine. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that was not your sign name. I know. My hands are not tonight. They're just done. My plan is to go and heat up my hot chocolate and then read. You just finished that? Okay. I've not started it yet. Oh, you're almost done. Okay. Nice. Yeah, so I am gonna go sit and read some of this, and we'll see. And then next week we're gonna discuss 8 to 13. Heather said 13. And then we'll be here next week on Wednesday night, and as we may we may go to on Discord in the ASL chat sometime next week too. Yes. Well, thank you, She, for joining me tonight to discuss it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful night and get some rest and get to read. Yes, happy reading. And we'll see you all next week.